Hello and welcome. You've tuned into CNBC-TV18 and this is Business Lunch. I am Nisha Poddar. Let's take it straight to the top headlines at lunch hour. Well, stocks slip after a strong open on the last trading day before the weekend. Utilities, metals and IT bear the brunt while pharma sees buying. Mid-caps buck the trend today. Aurobindo Pharma is up on likely value unlock from its business rejig. Lupin perks up on its drug finding and new use, and Torrent Pharma rises on its nasal spray being exempted from price regulation. The coal to solar power behemoth may list its renewables arm in FY23 even as it expands its portfolio to achieve a 50-50 fossil to renewable mix. The food delivery unicorn is aiming for an $8.7 billion of valuation for its IPO later this month, which could see a rejig in the new issue offer for sale mix. All right, so those were the top headlines of the day. Let's take a quick look at the markets and how they're faring. Well, positive to flat. That is the kind of scenario as far as the key indices are concerned. So holding up in the green, both Nifty 50 as well as Sensex. So where the real action is really taking place is the financials outperforming the key indices today, and of course the mid-cap universe also doing very well. And these two are the real brackets and pockets of the market, along with Reliance Industries, which is giving some strength, and also the market breadth is looking positive at the middle of the day on a Friday. Now let's take it straight to our top story always on Business Lunch, which is the COVID-19 update in the country. And COVID tracker, well, total cases in the country remain below 50,000 for the fifth straight day, and cases increased by 46,617 against the recoveries of 59,384. Meanwhile, the active cases, they fell by 13,620, while the number of people that succumbed to COVID stood at 853. Well, single-day testing, that remained below the 20 lakh mark at 18.8 lakhs in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, 6 states, namely Kerala, Arunachal Pradesh, Tripura, Odisha, Chhattisgarh and Manipur, have been reporting a high number of COVID cases. In a bid to curb this, the centre has rushed teams to these states for COVID control and containment measures. Now looking at some of the pharma-specific news then, and Laurus Labs, that has received a license from the DRDO to manufacture and market COVID-19 drug. And Ekta Batra joins us with all the details on what this means for the company. Tell us, Ekta.
Well, the news with regards to Laurus Labs is that they have received the license from the DRDO, which is basically the Defence Research and Development Organization, part of the Government of India, to manufacture and market the COVID-19 drug 2DG, which is basically for COVID-19. Now, remember that 2DG, this particular drug, has been given an emergency nod by the DCGI, which is the Drug Controller General of India, for COVID-19 patients. It is a positive for Laurus Labs, but there are 2 other companies which have also got the go-ahead, which is Dr. Reddy's to start with initially, and just a couple of days ago it was Shilpa Medicare as well. So Laurus Labs would join both these companies in terms of the manufacture as well as the sale of 2DG for COVID-19 in India. What kind of opportunity it is for Laurus Labs? It entirely depends on the offtake of the drug, and that will be seen over a period of time.
All right. Thanks so much, Ekta, for getting us all those details. Now, on the vaccination front for the country, and India saw 42.64 lakh doses administered in the last 24 hours, bringing the 7-day average even lower now to 43.17 lakh doses. Now, remember that India's vaccination coverage has now crossed 34 crores mark, with over 9.6 crore doses being administered to those between the age group of 18 to 44 years. All right, more on that. The union government's decision to really revert to centralized vaccine procurement could take the government's vaccine expenditure beyond the budgeted 35,000 crore rupees, and it may even hit 60,000 crore rupees. That's the word coming in from the Revenue Secretary Tarun Bajaj.
The expenditure is definitely going to be higher than 35,000 crores of rupees now that the central government has taken the responsibility of vaccinating every individual in the country. So it could be 50, 60 or something like that. I haven't done the maths, but it is likely to be higher, and this is the figure or around that I have been hearing.
All right, so that was all about COVID-19 update and vaccination. Now, the biggest really theme in the marketplace playing out is the big startups and the unicorns making it for the IPO. In fact, CNBC-TV18 has learned from direct sources that the first of the unicorns and a household name, the delivery platform company Zomato, is likely to launch its IPO in mid-July. Now, as far as the valuation is concerned, we do gather that there has been a strong demand from some of the global funds, emerging market funds, tech specialized firms, and therefore they have not only increased their valuation but also the issue size for the primary offering of this particular IPO. $8.7 billion, the higher or upper bracket of what their valuation expectation was, is likely to be the listing valuation for Zomato. Remember, the last fundraising round had valued them at a little below $5.5 billion. So there's a substantial jump in this particular IPO valuation. As far as the issue size is concerned, $1.2 billion is the kind of primary issuance expected. So all that money is going to go into the company. So the fundraise has heightened for Zomato by way of the IPO. As far as secondary sale, which was a very small portion, has been reduced further as per the SEBI rules. Now, mid-July is what they're aiming for. They're still waiting for SEBI approval. But here, a quick look at InfoEdge as well, which owns 18% stake in the company, will participate in the IPO, in the OFS process as well, will sell down a slight bit of stake, but then remember, they will also gain from the valuation game of Zomato through the IPO. All right, then moving on to another development of the day, and sources are telling us that NTPC is looking at listing its renewables unit in FY23, and Anshu Sharma joins us with all those exclusive details. Anshu.
That's right, NTPC has set a big target of 60 gigawatt capacity by 2032, and it will require 2.5 lakh crore rupees investment. We are given to understand from sources that NTPC is looking to list its 100% subsidiary, NTPC Renewable Energy Limited, by FY23. We are also given to understand that NTPC is looking to raise 15 to 20% via equity and rest through loans, debt and issuance of bonds. Now, 15 to 20% of the entire investment size that it requires to meet the target will be close to 50,000 crore rupees. Now, we are also given to understand that this is being targeted by the company to meet a portfolio of 50:50 for energy resources from fossil and non-fossil fuels. Now, the idea is to have big focus on ultra mega renewable energy projects, as well as floating solar and offshore wind projects, which NTPC is looking to have a tie-up with ONGC. Now, it also aims to have open access to sell the renewable energy that it aims to have by 60 gigawatt by 2032 for commercial and industrial users. We'll have to wait and watch out how soon this IPO hits the market. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Anshu, for getting us all those exclusive details. With that, we'll slip into a short breather on Business Lunch, but get back for more news updates and market action on the other side. Stay tuned.